The last piece of software we'll talk about is Snowflake MultiTeach. So this is our interactive activity-based learning software. And a lot of cool things we can do inside of Snowflake. So with Snowflake, there's about 25 or 30 of these built-in activities that we have here. We'll go ahead and load some of these. The nice part about Snowflake is there's also a zones option. So from any of the menus here, this allows me to split the screen up into a couple different configurations and actually load multiple activities at the same time. So we can do our 4 zones here. And this allows me to load a bunch of these different applications at the same time. So this really takes advantage of our convertible mobile stand. So this allows me to flip it flat like a table, and I can actually call up all these different applications. I can have multiple students around the board at the same time. If we are working in that tabletop mode, I can also take these applications, rotate that window, so now the students on the other side of the panel, they have their content facing them. And again, this software in particular really takes advantage of the 20 points of touch on the new 6000 series panels. So if I've got multiple students all using drag and drop, pinch to zoom activity, we can accommodate all those points of touch. But the really nice part about Snowflake, apart from all of the built-in activities, we do have the option to create your own lessons. So there's a whole lesson builder built into Snowflake that we'll call up here. And a couple different things that we can do with this. So there's about 20 or so different lesson types. So if I want to make a matching game, maybe just a quick labeling game, all kinds of things that we can do, these different activities. I can actually input my own curriculum as a teacher, my own pictures, my own words, vocab list, change the background, go into a whole number of different content situations and start to create my own lessons. And then once I've created my own lesson, I can again maybe have that in my 4 different split screen or just 2 different zones and have the students engaging with that content that I've created. Built in with the lesson creator, there's also a whole online community. So as a teacher, if I want to browse activities that other teachers around the globe have created, I can browse those, be able to download those, as well as share some of the ones that I've created. And lastly, we've actually made the entire lesson builder available online. So as a teacher, I don't have to have this entire Snowflake application installed on my computer device at home. I can simply go into an online browser, create all these lessons from my computer from anywhere, and then also be able to share those with my students. So from that online lesson builder, I can import my students' email addresses and be able to send some of these activities out to their devices where they can quickly do some drag and drop or maybe complete that activity, even send it back for grading. And then the beauty of it is when we come back to the classroom, I can have that same activity already loaded on my panel and be able to launch that and then work in that group environment with the entire class. So that lesson builder really brings Snowflake to life, allowing me to put all of my curriculum at any grade level, any event that we're doing, we can have any of our information in there. Couple other things that we can do inside of Snowflake. One of my favorites is the Nodes application. So this is kind of a presentation application that we can load here. And again, we can have this full screen like we do here, or any split screen configuration. But this allows me to drag out a bunch of these different nodes that we can have. I can start to label them. I can add media, any of this content that I want to start to add to this. I'm going to go ahead and load one that I've already got created here. This one is maybe 6th grade level environmental science, talking about beach erosion or anything on here. So once I have this loaded, I have all these nodes that I've created, and all these are interactive at the same time. Again, that 20 points of touch. And all of these can have different content attached to them. So if I select the problem, we'll start there. As you can see, I've got my picture, I've got text. Again, I can do pinch to zoom. You also notice as I move this around, it's moving some of the other nodes out of the way for me. But I can start to go through. So this one talks about, hey, there's a few different solutions that we want you to try out for this problem. So once I'm done reading that information, all I have to do is select the plus button here, and that's going to show me a few other nodes that I have attached to that node. So with this, I can start to do things like choose your own adventure activities, where the students will continue down different nodes as they go down different trails. But all these, again, are interactive. So I could say, hey, you work on solution 2, you work on solution 1, and let's try and find the best one. Again, I can pull up these different nodes. I think this one here has a video attached to it as well. So if I want to call up a video. And if I want to get rid of some of this mess, I can just make that video full screen to kind of go over everything there. And this one, I believe, talks about one of the jobs you can do with environmental science and some of this beach protection. But being able to have all that media, the text, everything kind of organized in a unique way can really bring to life some of those presentations that you have. This is also a great way for the students to present information. So this can be a fun thing for the students to build and then present that as well. A couple other things inside of Snowflake. We also have what we call the Canvas tool. So this is actually another whiteboard built into Snowflake. So again, I've got my MultiTeach, all those things built in. I actually have some math tools as well, rulers, a graphing calculator, anything that we want in there. But one of the coolest features about the Canvas tool inside of Snowflake is the ability to bring in a live browser. So I can actually bring in a live browser here. I can go out and do a Google search. And I can save these on multiple different pages. So there is a flip chart element to this built into Canvas. So as I start to create some pages, I could call up a couple different live browsers, maybe go to different web pages. And the beauty of it is if I preload this with a couple different web pages, maybe one is a YouTube video, maybe another one is a curriculum website. When I go to save this flip chart, it's going to remember exactly where we were on that built-in browser. And then the next time we load it, I've got my browser window already loaded, ready to go. So kind of the next step up from just a simple hyperlink built into that. But again, one of the fun parts about Snowflake is I can have my whiteboard, but I can also come over here to the zones. And maybe we'll do a split screen here. So now I've got my whiteboard space with my live browser over here, and now I can come over to my lessons application and maybe load a quick matching game that we just created talking about the same subject there. So Snowflake really starts to open the door for that multi-zone interaction as well as multi-student interaction at the front of the classroom here. So lots of different things we can do. There's also just a simple built-in browser. So if I don't need to load the whiteboard, I can just have a built-in browser as well as just a simple media viewer. So if I do have maybe PDFs or pictures or anything that we have on here, I can call out some different pictures or PDF files or anything on there. So maybe the student will use a PDF for research over here and then answer a problem or use the whiteboard for scratch work. Any number of things. So it really brings to life the interactivity of the panel.